Hey folks, this is Kelani. Patch 8.2 has been well received by the majority of players from what I've been seeing online and in-game. A lot of people seem to be having more fun right now than they've had since BfA originally launched. That's fantastic to see, and while I have been enjoying the many different aspects of this latest patch as well, I have also started to see some concerns about one thing in particular: ALTS. There are a lot of moving pieces in patch 8.2 and some of them seem particularly unfriendly towards ALTS. So let's have a look at some of the issues being raised, decide whether or not they're actually unfriendly towards ALTS, and take a peek at the bigger picture and consider whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's get started. The huge elephant in the room regarding this topic is the new Heart of Azeroth essence system. It's really not all too surprising when you think about it. Each essence takes time and effort to earn. You can earn up to 4 ranks of each essence, and it takes significantly longer as you start climbing that ladder. Some of them aren't too bad. Do a bit of daily grind in Najdatar, kill some bosses in the Eternal Palace, do your Island Expedition weekly quest for 3 weeks in a row. Some are actually just kind of given to you as you complete other activities like reaching heart level 54 and heart level 60. Others are a huge grind fest though. The Honor one in particular is quite bad for that. You have to farm tens of thousands of Honor if you want to get the rank 3 Blood of the Enemy essence, so if that's one that you're interested in or it's good for your class, I hope you like Battlegrounds and lots of them. The Reputation ones also involve a lot of time and effort. Getting to Exalted, which you will need if you want to get to rank 3, and let's be honest, who doesn't want rank 3 on any character that they're actually playing? If you want to get Exalted, that's going to be a huge undertaking on multiple characters. So we've established it takes time and effort to progress in the new Heart of Azeroth system, but what's the problem with ALTS? The loudest complaint I've heard is that if you want the essence on your ALTS, you have to do everything all over again. Now my immediate reaction to that is, well, yes, that's kind of how most of the game works. Why should essences be different? But if you stop and think about it, anyone who seriously wants to keep multiple characters up to date will have to go through week-long grinds on every toon. It kind of harkens back to the old days of attunements for various dungeons and raids. Getting one character done was daunting enough, so doing it all again for some others was pretty stressful sometimes. These days, the majority of attunements, or really any lengthy progression or requirements in the game, are shared across your account. Flying is a fantastic example of that in patch 8.2. You don't have to complete part 1 and part 2 of the achievement on the same character. You might have done part 1 on your initial main character, but since the start of BfA you might have wanted to spend more time on your Warlock or your Mage or whatever you decided. That's not a problem in this case. If you get part 2 done on your new character, the flying achievement still unlocks across your entire account. Typically, if you do something large on one character, it's either unlocked, accessible in some capacity, or at least faster on any other character after that. Essences don't follow that mindset. You have to do it all over again. I'm kind of in two minds about this. On one hand, I think the essence ranks should really mean something. Collecting these essences is supposed to be a bit of a journey. You need to put in time and effort into every single one of these essences, and if you could just skip over all of that on your alts, I think it might cheapen the experience a little bit. On the other hand, I have zero interest in playing any of my alts seriously in this patch because of how much time it would take to get them up to date, and keep them up to date with the essence system. I went into this patch with the noble goal of keeping both my Demon Hunter, my new main, and my Shadow Priest, my old main, at the same level so I could swap between them as needed for our Mythic Raid group. I really enjoyed being able to heal when needed in the Battle of Dazar'alor raid, and Shadow Priest is still super strong, so I wanted to be able to keep that as an option to really help out the guild if needed, but when patch 8.2 launched, and I actually realised what it would take to keep both characters up to date, I ditched the priest in a heartbeat. I just don't have the patience or attention span to do everything twice right now, especially with the essences which require a real grind and time investment. Some of this stuff takes a really long time when you get up to the rank 3s, and especially the rank 4s. I doubt anybody's really going for the rank 4s on multiple characters. Maybe I would feel differently about my alts if essences were a bit faster on your alts after you've already got it on your main, or if you only had to unlock them once on your account. I wonder what that would look like, account-wide progress on your essences and ranks. Would that encourage more playtime across multiple characters, or would people just get bored too fast because they don't have anything to do on their alts? It would certainly encourage playing multiple characters, I think, especially at their higher levels of play. Now, you might be thinking, no problem, I'll just wait for a few weeks or months until they add in the catch-up mechanic for essences, and then I can get all of them really quickly and easily on all of my alts. Genius. That would be a fantastic idea, if you could wait that long, but there is another issue. The dev team has already said that no catch-up for the Essence system is planned whatsoever, so not only do we not have anything that could speed it up right now, I doubt we'll see anything in the foreseeable future either. As far as the Essence system goes, yeah, patch 8.2 is incredibly alt unfriendly. You have to do several grinds over and over again if you want them across all your characters, and it's never going to get faster. It's enough to make me put all of my alts on the shelf for this patch. I won't be playing anything besides my Demon Hunter. Plenty of other guildies have also been dropping their alts too, so are the limitations of the Essence system a good thing or a bad thing? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I am pretty annoyed and I don't feel like I can pick up any of my other characters because I don't think they're worth the time investment, and if I did swap to another character, I would be significantly behind at this point in the game. It's only a few weeks in as well, but I'm also kind of happy that I'm spending all of my time on one character for a change. It's a weird mix of feelings for me, but I reckon if you enjoy playing alts, then you'll hate the limitations, and if you don't play any alts, then honestly it kind of just doesn't affect you in any way. I love the system itself, but there's no question that it's hurting alts. Another large time sink in patch 8.2 is the reputation farming. This issue isn't new whatsoever to patch 8.2. Rep farming has always had that huge question mark floating over it. Should rep farming on an alt be faster if you've already done it on a main? Should all reputation become account-wide so we don't ever have to choose between characters and we never lose any of that progress? I doubt any of this will change anytime soon. Rep farming is a time gate that has existed for as long as the game itself, but how much does it impact you in patch 8.2? Quite a lot, actually, but that's mainly because the two new factions in Nazjatar and Mechagon are fully interlinked with the Essence system. Rank 1 of several Essences comes from Honoured with these reps, Rank 2s come from Revered, and Rank 3s come from Exalted. Rank 4s also come from the Paragon boxes, so that's a whole bunch of RNG if you ever want to see that one, so good luck. Some of the Essences are also incredibly powerful, some of them even best in slot for some characters and classes. And they cover every role, so you're probably going to want Exalted with these reps on any character that you want to play, just to keep your essences up to date. So right now the reputation farm is also hurting alts in patch 8.2, perhaps more so than it has previously because your rep is tied directly to your progression in the most important part of the game right now, and there's nothing there to really speed things up. Another interesting little thing about alts in the new zones right now is that there's also no skip for the introduction quests. Typically, once you go through the story introduction of why we're here and how we got here, you're allowed to skip over that on any alt so you can start progressing in the zone a little faster. Neither Mechagon nor Nazjatar have an intro skip right now, so just getting an alt set up in the two new zones can take 30 to 40 minutes. That's not really a lot of time in the grand scheme of things, over a few months or whatever, but if you're wanting to play multiple characters and get them all set up with proper essences and keep them all up to date with rep and everything else, that half an hour will definitely start to add up the more characters you have to go through. It's also something that we've had for almost every similar situation in the previous 2 expansions, I think, so it just seems kind of strange that it's missing in patch 8.2. I wonder why. Now before we move on, despite what was said earlier about no catch-up mechanics at all, there actually is something to help you just a little bit. It's not super related to alts though. If you purchase or create an essence for your main spec, your next spec will be considerably cheaper. If you haven't noticed this yet, it might be worth checking your off-spec essences just in case you had to fork over another 50 mana pearls or a crazy amount of spare part crates. Anything bought from a rep vendor is cheaper after you buy the other role's essence. That goes for both Nazjatar and Mechagon vendors, which is super useful. Even the raid essences, which require you to combine the reliquary items, require significantly less for off-spec essences after you've made your first one. So even though there aren't any catch-ups designed for alts right now, at least we have something to help our other specs essences get caught up if the need arises. Even though essences are a huge part of 8.2, that's not the only thing we have to think about when it comes to alts. What about gearing up? Well, that's something you can get a lot of help with in patch 8.2. The benthic gear system allows you to very quickly and easily gear up a new or outdated character with some 385 gear. It doesn't just stop there though. Any time you put into that character in the Nazjatar zone should yield you some mana pearls, which you can use to upgrade your benthic gear all the way to 425. Now that is going to take quite a long time when all is said and done, but I don't think we've ever been able to get such a high item level just through a gear catch-up mechanic. It may take a bit of time, but your alts will eventually be geared up to their teeth. The trinket over in Mechagon is also really powerful if you get the right cards, so there's another slot that you don't have to worry about. When it comes to rings and weapons, you're kind of on your own, so the usual avenues might have to help you out there. The Mythic Plus weekly cash, maybe some normal raiding, the usual sources of gear, you know. So as far as gear and increasing your item level is concerned, patch 8.2 is actually very alt friendly. You can even send over tokens from your main if you have plenty of them to spare, so you don't even have to play the alt to gear it up, which might be a plus for some folks out there. And then we also have flying. I know it's not quite as important as the essence system or gearing up for that matter, but with the introduction of flying in patch 8.2, I think almost everything becomes more alt friendly. You can fly from level 100 in the BfA zone, so questing is going to be way faster after you earn your wings once again, which should make leveling a little more tolerable for anyone who doesn't really enjoy it. Being able to fly also speeds up a variety of other activities that would take up a whole lot of your time if you're doing them across multiple characters. World quests are much faster when you can fly, so getting your artifact power and emissary world quests done on each character should take you no time at all. Farming rares or chests in Nazjatar and Mechagon is also a lot faster, so whether you need an extra few spare parts, or you're looking for a special drop maybe, or maybe you just want to finish off that super lucrative Mechagon world quest as fast as possible, flying really does make a huge difference. I would say the reintroduction of flying might be one of the most alt-friendly things about patch 8.2. But that's it for this video. What do you think about alts in patch 8.2? Have you been playing your alts and getting their essences slowly but surely? Or have you ditched every other character except your main because the essence grind is just too much? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.